Hold on. Damn. Hold on. Jesse made that. Welcome to 49ers After Dark. I'm Grant Cohn. That's Jesse. He's really good at stuff like that, and I'm not. So thank you very much. I even messed it up. He was just like, play it, and I couldn't do that well. But we're here. Some of you don't know about Jesse. He drives a 3-wheel car. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. He showed it last night. I was like, dang, you have a Batmobile? He was like, I am Batman. So you learn a lot about people. A lot happened today. The Niners had practice. Trey Lance was really good. Maybe I blew last week's practice out of proportion. It was just one practice. He may have been improving since then. He looked good today. So maybe I can tell you what I saw. I don't think you're going to be surprised, though. I mean, you called this last week. You're like, just wait. And what I wanted to say last week was like, it was just day one. He seemed overamped, and he was missing high, which is classic. I'm a little nervous. Today, he didn't miss high as much, and I think he just took a little off. On the 15-yard throws where he wants to show that he has his gun, just throw it 90%. You still have a gun. Instead of throwing 98, throw 92. And he did that today. And all the other things that he does so well could show. Throwing on the run, rolling left, throwing the guy in his face, throwing deep. It was like, okay. And he really, really does have a cannon. So, he might be ready quicker than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it, right? Like I said, we were talking about an OTA, and I kept saying June, and you reminded me it wasn't even June yet.
Yeah.
Like, let's take a step back for a second. Kid could be nervous. Now, I don't disagree that he still does have that flaw, especially going left to right.
Yes.
And so that's going to be an issue. And I'm going to talk with his QB coach again tomorrow. He's going to be on the show. Okay. So I'm going to ask him about that. I'm very curious to see what his answer is to it, because the first time that I asked him about it, he kind of brushed it off. So it's still a thing. It's got to be addressed. So I'm curious to see what he says. But with that said, there's so many things that Lance brings to the table, and it's the things that Jimmy can't do. It's the things that Mac Jones can't do. And this is the reason why he was drafted. He's smart. He's articulate. He gets a hold of an offense. He's mobile. He's strong. He's fast. He's got a big arm. Like, all those things matter. But at the same time, from the shoulders up, that's where it matters most. And you just saw it, right? A week ago, he couldn't make these throws. And now he's calmed down a little bit. He's probably looked at the film. He's taken it to heart. He's practiced these things.
Yes.
He's getting more ready to go. Week one, I'm keeping it out there. Week one, he will be the starter.
Well, I got a bottle of wine riding on that. That's I like that. I like the way that sounds. I mean, I think he was nervous last week.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think. 21-year-old kid, first practice in front of the media with the whole team. He's trying to impress. He's throwing too hard. I was really impressed with his arm strength today. Even him taking a little bit off when he fires the ball over the middle, it's like, ooh, wow. I mean, even Rosen doesn't have that kind of juice. Jimmy certainly doesn't have kind of juice. It's Kaepernick-esque. And he doesn't have the long windup that Kaepernick had. Now, it's not the Jimmy quick release, but it reminds me of Kyler's release. It's a little bit of a dip, but it's pretty fluid and quick enough. Yeah. Is that a fair comp? I mean, he's 8 feet taller than Kyler Murray, but there's similarities.
Yeah, it is. It's hard. Trey Lance, to me, was the hardest player to comp out of this draft. It's the reason that I liked Herbert so much. It's the reason that I liked Allen so much. I couldn't comp those players. And Trey Lance, I couldn't comp. There's guys that I can say, well, he's similar to this player when he does these things, or he's similar to this player when he does these things. It's impossible to comp the kid, and that's why I'm so excited, because he is unique. He is different. You're right. I mean, I'm sure, I wish I could see it in person, but it's what Sean McAvoy said over and over. I wish that we could see all of these players in the draft next to each other. Let's see one throw and the next and the next. And when we get to Lance, you're going to see it's different coming off of his hands, and it should be different. And I'm glad that you're seeing it differently, because boy can spin it.
Yeah, and he's going to really win over the team quickly if he keeps doing this, because if he's proficient in 7-on-7s and can put the ball where he wants, there's so many things that he can do that Jimmy can't. And it's obvious he can do it every day. So he just needs to not like embarrass himself in 7-on-7s. And, he just has to show that he can throw strikes most of the time. And today he did. If he can do that, then there's so many things he can do.
Yeah.
There's so many moments where you're like, wow. So Jimmy's in trouble right now. Do
you see the difference when he's off platform? Do you see just how good he throws off platform? Because to me, that's what stood out most when I watched him play. A lot of people oohed and awed over Zach Wilson. I thought it was Trey Lance actually that kept his arm strength the best off platform, could make many throws. Now, Zach Wilson had the arm angles that Lance doesn't, but when he's on the move, the accuracy, the arm strength, I feel like all those things are intangibles that really set him apart.
Also, he has a stronger arm than Zach Wilson.
Yeah. Oh, way stronger.
He's got a much more powerful arm than Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson has a quicker release, but what I like about Trey Lance is his ability. It's like, I just feel like even now, coming from 1AA football, the game is in slow motion for him in terms of, oh no, I did a play action. I rolled out. My first thing I see is a dude in my face. No panic. Calmly sidestep, calmly fade. Like, I'm way more athletic than you. I'm not tripping. I'm not scared. It's just very few players have that feeling where they feel like they're moving in slow motion. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he's got that right now. So that's what I like the most about him. When hell breaks loose, when something that isn't planned for happens, he's very calm. He makes decisions like it's happening in slow motion. And he doesn't like just freak out and do what Jimmy did in the Super Bowl, where he's like, I'm going down. Let's throw it up and see what happened. No, you'll never see Trey Lance do that.
What's interesting is I saw the video that you posted. I think it was the footwork video of the quarterbacks today.
Yeah.
And right at the very end, it was just kind of funny to me. Jimmy did the same thing. His feet got tangled up and he did the little pirouette that he did against the Cardinals. It's like he actually does practice the pirouette. That's something that he works on. He does this. That's crazy.
So last thing I want to say before we move on. Niners, you learned a lesson here. You want as much media access as possible. If it's 3 days of OTAs, don't just give us one, give us 3, because the other writers don't want to do 3. I want to do 3. And the thing is, if Lance struggles on day 1 and improves, that's a good story. You want that out there. You don't want Lance isn't ready. You want Lance improves tremendously. Mm-hmm. So learn from that. Missed opportunity.
It is.
When are these teams going to figure out that they could be streaming these practices and making so much money? Why are they not? Sorry. There aren't that many secrets, guys. The NFL should mandate it. It's more revenue for the whole league. I'm just saying. Runa says, hey, Runa, you're the most you're on everyone's show. Every time I'm like, oh, Jackhammer doing Niner Chatter, I guarantee Runa's going to be that. And he is. Love you, man. You're the best. Grant, will you please ask this question from Kyle on Express? Do you think Trey Lance can be a great quarterback like Man, he already doesn't like me. I think he'd be banned from the premises if I asked him, but that was funny. I like how you saved the joke for that. Was good use of the punchline right at the end. That was good.
He's the one that set us in the tailspin the day before the draft, by the way. We're in a calm down, man. Calm down.
Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance paired up in drills. What are you talking about here?
Well, it was just interesting to see because they have 4 quarterbacks. So seeing those guys, that's I don't know if that's forced or what, but to me it was cool to see. They're retrieving the ball for each other. Yes. They're working together. I know it's not a lot, but it's those little things that build the relationship. And so it is cool to see that Jimmy and Lance are working together on all of the drills. One of them's not paired with Sudfeld or Rosen. It was something that caught my eye. Every single drill they did it together all the way through. Jimmy went, then he went, then Jimmy would retrieve the ball, then Lance would retrieve the ball. It was just something that was interesting to me. It was good to see.
I feel like kids these days are just nicer. Like Gen Z kids are nice. Maybe I'm wrong, but I remember Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick. 2 years they competed in training camp.
Yeah,
I feel like I never saw them talk on the field. They were in the same group and they were in the same drills, but they were like ships passing in the night. No disrespect, but I don't even see you, man. I don't even see you. I'm focused on doing my thing. I'm focused on winning this job. And I think that's par for the course in pro sports. Like, I'm not going to get in your way, but I don't even see you right now. It's like, I'm in my own world. So it's a good observation. It's cool to see. And Not surprised. That's Jimmy's personality. As nice as Alex Smith is, if Colin Kaepernick is going to approach him that way, then Alex Smith's going to approach him the same way. And Kaepernick was always very like Muhammad Ali-ish. Like, I'm pretty, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I'm going to show it. Trey Lance seems to be a little bit more, I don't know. A little different, I guess. A little different.
I feel like Jimmy, I feel like Alex and Kaepernick were so polar opposite of each other to where Trey and Jimmy are actually very similar when it comes to a demeanor. They're both calm. They're even keel. You know, they don't get too high. They don't get too low. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good pairing for sure.
And their path is the same.
Yes.
Division 2 to the NFL. Jimmy was originally there to replace Tom Brady. Now he's getting replaced. He understands what an awkward position that is for the kid coming in. Oh, I'm supposed to take your job. Okay. All right. Thanks. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm taking your job. Very nice to meet you. So he gets it and he's doing a good job with it. I like that. I don't know what he's doing behind closed doors, but today he was congenial.
And he has been. I mean, that's again, the one thing I've said about Jimmy all offseason is that he's very professional. I mean, you cannot knock him for that. You've got to give him a pat on the back. Nobody has handled the situation that he's been in for really the last year and a half. If you go back to the Brady situation, nobody's handled that better or could have handled that better, in my opinion. I mean, you have guys like Cam pouting after a Super Bowl in a press conference.
I was there.
Right. There you go. So those things happen. Jimmy, no, I mean, I would like to see him be a competitor more sometimes. Yeah. But the way that he handles himself, true pro, consummate pro. And at the very least, Trey Lance can learn from that. And like I said, their demeanor is so similar. I think that's the way that Trey's going to carry himself as well.
Grant, you said it was only Trey and 7-on-7 is not Jimmy today. Do you know why they did that? I don't know. Jimmy was 6 for 6. Maybe they were like, well, we just want to get Trey more. I would say Brady probably wanted to get Trey more work. I don't know. It seems like one guy's getting prepped for the season. The other guy's getting 6 throws in a day. That's your starting quarterback. You give him, okay. Hey, all right. I don't know. I mean, I would say this too is Trey needs more work in a 7-on-7 situation where he's forced to be in the pocket. It makes sense for him to be there. So if Jimmy's going to work anything, I mean, 7-on-7 is not going to do anything for a starter in this league. And let's be clear, the whole practice was 11-on-11s. There was one final period with 7-on-7s essentially for Trey Lance. Yeah. Maybe it's because he needs work on it. Maybe that's what it is.
Yep. Or maybe they did hear what people were saying and they did want to show off a little bit. Like, hey,
hey man, you were a little too hard. It was 2 throws and 7-on-7s. He's actually very good. Let's do it right in front of the media. That's what I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
They did the whole practice 70 yards away, and then right at the very end, Trey Lance 7-on-7s right in front of you. What do you think of this? First throw, deep throw to George Kittle. That's planned. They're like, all right, we're good. The whole practice is planned. And they planned out, we're going to do it away from the media, but at the very end, we're going to have him there, the first throw deep. You're going to nail it. They're going to ride it. You're going to look great. Yeah, man. Absolutely. So he must have been tearing it up the last few days for them to feel that confident.
Jimmy Ward must have went over to him and been like, listen, coach, he's not digging Trey. He thinks he can throw high 7-on-7s. Let's show a little something here.
What if they delegated watching my show to Jimmy Ward? Like, someone on this team's got to have to watch this dude.
Jimmy, you got to watch the official Grant Cohn scout. I love it.
Hey man, Kwaski's talking about you, man. Real quick before we move on, so I like to jump into the YouTube thing now for the press conferences. It's amazing. Yeah. It's like a whole thing. And what I noticed is a lot of people are talking about Chardall on that thing at all times. Unreal, man. Unreal.
As they should be,
man. But I love life is so great. Like now Chardall's a star. Of course he is. As he freaking should be, man. Life is everything good is happening. All the good things. I'm so
It's not
going
to be long before we see the Chardall gifts. Just letting you know right now. It's coming.
As it should be. Camille says, my 2 favorite Grant and Jesse question for y'all. In a perfect world, trades legit. What's the peak trade value we can get with Jimmy?
There's a lot that goes into this. Does he actually start this year? Does he finish the year? Like, let's lay out all 3 scenarios.
Well, he's saying peak. He's saying peak. So let's start with that scenario. Okay. He plays the whole year and somehow puts up better numbers in 2019 would be the peak.
They go to the playoffs, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's worth a first rounder.
There you go.
I'd say, late first round. I don't think anything crazy, but maybe we have to throw in a third to get the first rounder. Yeah, I'd say he's worth the first rounder in that scenario.
And if he takes him back to the Super Bowl and loses, maybe he's worth I mean, he's definitely worth a first at that point. Maybe if he gets to the playoffs and loses first round, maybe 2 2s. I mean, that's what Alex Smith went for with the Niners. He went for 2 2s. I mean, and he only played half a season that year? Yeah. Maybe if Jimmy can't get hurt. He can't get hurt.
No, Jimmy cannot get hurt. If Jimmy gets hurt,
it's over.
That might be worse than being the backup.
That's true. It's a good point. Getting beat out by Trey Lance would be actually better for him than getting hurt again. Especially
if Trey plays really well and Jimmy's a good soldier all year, that could drive up his trade value a little bit as well. Because I would say now, I think he's worth maybe a fourth. But in that scenario, if he's a good soldier, Trey Lance looks great, you might be able to get a third out of it, So, but him getting hurt, that's worst case. I mean, at that point, you're cutting him.
All right. Yep. God, there's a lot of players in this team that are like one more injury away from being looked at totally differently. I mean, Bosa's in that boat. There's a lot of guys. So anyway, not to get all negative on us, let's talk Josh Rosen, because I like to when it's time to get positive, it's time to talk Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
I've been waiting so long for this. When did he join the team? November?
Yeah.
Freaking June. And I finally saw him in practice for the first time. And let me tell you, you saw him warming up. That was a nice ball.
It was.
He will always throw a nice ball. And what I like to see is he got 3 reps today. Okay. 3 reps in competitive scrimmages. The first one was a handoff. It was so good. It was such a nice handoff. It was a Jimmy Garoppolo handoff. And then
is it better than Jimmy? Because Jimmy can hand it off.
Dude, Jimmy is the attention to detail with Jimmy is so nice. But anyway,
could Rosen hand it off that well? And then let's say an NFC Championship game.
That remains to be seen. The burden of proof is on Josh. There's a lot of pressure with those handoffs on a bigger stage. But anyway, first throw of the day, just rips a first read dig over the middle for a strike to Juwan Jennings. Or who was? I mean, it might have been Sanu. I forget who it was.
I think you said Sanu. Yeah,
Sanu. Just okay, Josh. Not let's warm up with a little dump off. Nah, man, I might get 7 of these throws this offseason. I'm gonna make it count. That one was nice. The second one was incomplete and way overthrown, but I'm gonna call that a bad route on Charlie Warner because I don't like Charlie Warner. I don't know. The coach went to Charlie Warner and was like, dude, when they do this stuff, it makes you feel like
he was
ran
wrong.
The wrong route. So yeah, that was it for Josh Rosen. But I like that he's getting a chance because I feel like he could be the backup long term, or he could be someone they trade. He could be a trade asset. He's only valuable to them, and I'm glad that he's all in apparently, and they're giving him opportunities.
I mean, this quarterback room, top to bottom, best in the league.
Yeah,
top to bottom. Rosen, if Rosen's your third quarterback, it's
true.
That's good.
It's true.
That's
true.
good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that might be the best quarterback room in the NFL. And even if it's not, let's compare it to last year. My gosh, if any one of those 3 guys start, I'm okay with it. I'm confident if we were in a situation where Rosen is the starter for a couple weeks, I'm not worried. I'm not looking at it going, well, that's 2 losses. Here we go. No, I'm not doing that in that scenario. I think Rosen is the best natural thrower on the team.
The only thing I would say about this quarterback room is that I'm not that impressed with Nate Sudfeld. Why is he here? I don't get it. I'm sorry, dude. He has 40 throws in his career. He's 27. Why is he here? He's very tall. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I see him next to everybody else. Geez, this guy's big.
Honestly, they should have Mullins here, man. I don't know. Mullins should be the guy. I don't know. As the practice squad guy.
Scangarello is here, and it's Scangarello's guy. That's all it is.
Let me tell you something about Scangarello.
In the team.
Let me tell you something about Scangarello. I think he colors his hair. Right now, I'll tell you right now, I think he colors his hair. That's a bad sign. Rich, if I'm wrong, it looks like you color your hair, man. Don't do that. It's got that kind of fake brownie. You know what I'm saying? That fake brownness.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I have more gray in my hair right now than Rich Scangarello. That's it might be just for men, but it's not for you, man.
It's just for men, but it's not for Rich. I got it.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Oh, maybe that was a low blow, but I was like, man, that's a bad look, dude. I'm starting to gray, and I'm thinking man, should I? No, you can't do that's a no. It's always a no, right? If you find yourself putting color in your hair, you messed up. You got to.
There are natural ways to get your color back. Just saying.
Oh, okay, there you go, Rich. Hit up Jesse for some information. Snag Melvin Ingram since he is Bosa's second cousin. Man. Yeah, Ingram's available. Houston's available. What's his face? Griffin's available. It seems like I don't know. It's June 2nd.
I'm not mad at grabbing one of those guys. I think some of those guys are going to be around, and if an injury happens, they'll still be available. I think Arden Key's going to play a big role on this team. I really think Arden Key's going to be an important player for this team. I don't know why. Actually, Bay Area Baller, go check out his YouTube channel, put out a great video on him and Hurst. Arden Key was constantly around the quarterback, a lot like Armstead was last year. He was constantly there. There was just nobody there to pressure him into him. So he was the one doing the pressuring, but nobody could clean up. Arden Key, don't sleep on him. I think if he makes this team, he could be a sleeper for us.
Cool. I mean, who knows? I mean, he has more pass rush pedigree than Samson Ebukam, to be quite honest.
Oh, yeah. For sure he does.
Marvin Lopez says, I've heard you talk about the Naomi Osaka situation. Made me wonder if you've ever stopped yourself from asking a tough question to a player. No, but now that this girl's doing this, it makes me think about it a little bit. The new generation of athletes is different, and it's an interesting situation. It's definitely going to have big time fallout for all the sports, and I'll be talking about it with my dad tomorrow on the Cohn Zone. I feel like I need his wisdom on this one.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, but good question, Marvin. I'll be talking about it tomorrow. I'll come back, and make sure you subscribe to Bay Area Baller. That guy has a great YouTube channel.
He does.
Jeremy Price says, what's up with that hat? Well, Lillard kind of had a day yesterday.
Listen, I'm from Portland, born and raised, so I'm a Blazer fan. I live in Tampa now. I've lived here for about 3 years. But yeah, diehard Blazer fan, diehard Niner fan. That's it. Yeah, I mean, it's the home team for me. I'm not from the Bay.
I'm always proud of him. He's not quite as good as Steph Curry, but I'm always proud of him when he has good games. Good for you, Damian, man. I mean, no one can shoot like Curry.
Nobody's more clutch than Lillard, though. Nobody's more. How many game winners does this guy have to hit in one game?
He's never beat Stephen Curry in a playoff game, but he's very clutch. He's 0-12 against Stephen Curry. But it's a team sport. Only thing is you could say, like, man, if he had Draymond Green, it'd be a whole different thing. Difference is Curry moves a little better off the ball than Lillard does, in my opinion. That's the only thing. Lillard really needs the ball. But anyway,
he does. He's a ball-dominant player.
He
would be great with somebody like Antetokounmpo. I think that would be a great pairing. You can get Lillard and Antetokounmpo together.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Perfect.
All right, back to the Niners. Hold on. Dude says, y'all should add Jamarcus Russell to the quarterback room. What do you think Jamarcus Russell's doing right now, man? Probably chilling. Dude, do you think that's going to be the next Kwame Brown? One of these days, he's going to pop up on IG Live like, hey, man, yeah, I've been watching all that crap you said about me. You didn't think I was on the internet, but I don't know. He used to live down the street from my parents.
I've heard this. I've heard this. Is he bumping around Oakland still?
No. Nah.
All right.
I haven't seen him in Oakland in a long time. I think he's back in, I don't know, Mississippi.
I think I've seen a couple interviews over the last year or so with him, 2 years. He seems pretty mild-mannered. Kwame Brown's that's a different level right there.
Gotta love Kwame, though, man.
I do. I love it. It's pure entertainment. I bet you his subscribers have shot way up.
So smart. So smart. Okay, first impression of Damiko Ryans. Did you watch his press conference?
Yeah. In fact, not only did I watch his press conference, I went back and watched Salah's first press conference to kind of do a little compare and contrast. Very confident. Very first of all, when I watched Salah's first press conference,
he's nervous.
And and not so sure of himself.
Salah's always nervous. Here's the thing about Salah. My wife does the same thing. When they talk in front of people, they sweat. His upper lip gets his thing. He gets hella sweaty in his nose, and he's constantly doing this thing. I'm like, it's all good, Robert. We all like you. You're very, very well spoken. But he would get nervous. He would sweat. I think he still does. Damiko was like, I'm an alpha male. I played in the league. I'm really good. Not that Robert isn't an alpha male, but it's like he was the rookie of the year. It's Damiko Ryans.
Yeah. You can actually see why they made this transition from Salah to Damiko.
Yeah.
Both player coaches. What I like a lot about Damiko is two things. One, he kept talking about taking care of the players on a personal level. So that shows you that he
solid. Yes.
really, really cares about these guys. You can see that he's learned that probably from Salah and some of his other mentors. I would also say this. He's very attention to detail oriented. And not only did you hear it from him talking about playing fast and focusing on what's in front of you, but you heard it from Kinlaw. Kinlaw even said, hey, a lot of it this year is just me focusing on the man in front of me and not paying attention to what's going on around me. I got to play fast. I got to pick up on things. that are right there and just take care of what's in front of me. That's my job. So I feel like that's something that he's already embedding into their minds, is that he wants them to focus on what's important to them to help them win. And as a collective, they will all win if everybody's winning on an individual level. So I do like to hear that. He's more ready for this position than what I think we gave him credit for. The fact that he said that he would think about during games what he would have called in those situations last year.
That was my question.
He knew it was coming. He
like
knew that was Salah's last year.
Yes.
I do like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, no, my first impression is more like his personality. I like, he's very open. He's not defensive. God, Jim O'Neil with Chip Kelly. Oh, so defensive. This guy, now he hasn't, if his defense sucks, he might become defensive. But right now, he seemed very open, a lot like Robert Saleh in a lot of ways. And one of the things I liked about him was he seemed self-aware. My question was, what do you anticipate being the biggest challenge as a first-year defensive coordinator? And I thought, there's a right answer to this question. And I thought he gave it. It's like, well, I've never game planned. I tried last year. I like, shadow game plan. I've never called plays. I would think about what would I do in this situation, but now I'm doing it for real. So I thought, yeah, that's it. That's the right answer. You said it. You're not like running from it. You're not upset that I went there. I really respect. Doesn't mean that he's going to be good at game planning and calling plays, but at least he knows. He's self-aware. I like that. Saleh was the same way. If you ask Kyle that kind of question, he'd be like, what do you mean, man? He wouldn't go there. Just wouldn't go
Nothing?
there. Nothing? He wouldn't go there. Why do I have to go there? I don't have to talk about I don't have to be self-reflective. I don't have to be introspective. Saleh is. Ryan's is. Kyle isn't.
Yeah, Ryan's is a sharp guy, man. Super cool, super calm, collected. Again, you can already see the message he is putting out there is starting to trickle down with the team.
All right, switch it up a little bit. Dennis says, what are you hearing about the Julio situation, and do you think we'll make that happen? All right, let's go. Let's jump a little ahead to Julio. I ain't hearing not a thing about the Julio situation. It doesn't. I mean, the Niners did sign a wide receiver named Jones. It almost felt like they were trolling us. Like, hey, you want us to sign Jones? We'll do it. Andy Jones. I think the thing with it doesn't seem like Julio's getting moved doesn't seem like he's coming to the Niners. Do you think he's coming to the Niners?
First of all, speaking of goats, Shardall is going to ask you about him, so be prepared.
I will be.
Get ready. 5 questions.
I will be. Yes.
But yes, I don't think it's going to happen. I've said it in the past. I feel like the 49ers are the kings of acting like they're interested in everybody, or maybe not acting like they're interested in everybody. Somehow they get thrown into every trade scenario possible, and nothing ever comes of it. Now, when they moved up to 3, that was huge. That was different. But they're not the team that's usually going to make the big blockbuster move. What scares me is there are 2 teams in their divisions that will make the big blockbuster move, and Julio is already linked to one of them, and that is Seattle. That's worrisome. I can't imagine Metcalf on one side, Julio on another, Lockett in the side. No, that is a disaster. That's a disaster.
Yeah, I just don't see how the Seahawks can make it happen. Because I'm looking here. They have $7.25 million in cap space.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do? I mean, he's got a $15 million cap number this year. That now the Falcons can pick up some of it, but I think what the Falcons want is cap space, not draft. They have no cap space. The Falcons have, let me tell you, they have $337,000 in cap space, the least in the league. They don't necessarily need a second round pick. They need cap space. I don't think they can sign their rookies. I don't know where they're at right now. So maybe what the NFL is doing right now is they realize the Falcons are super desperate, and they're like, you want a first? No. You want a second? No. You're going to take whatever you can get because you're trying to move a contract. Yeah. So maybe they're just going to wait him out.
Yeah, they're probably looking at it and saying, okay, we've got 2 scenarios. We'll give you a higher pick, but you're going to eat some of the salary, or we will eat the salary, but you're going to take less. Yeah, I think you're right on that one.
And I think that's what's going to be more what Atlanta wants. All right, we got to move this contract. Yeah, we'll take a 4th.
Should be. The good news is that you said they have how much cap space?
Atlanta?
Yeah.
337,000.
It's about 270,000 more than the Saints.
No, the Saints, according to Over the Cap, the Saints have 356,000.
I don't know how that's possible. I thought they were at like 70-something thousand the other day.
Maybe Over the Cap's wrong, but I trust them most of the time. It's supposed to be the OGs of the game. So I don't know. So I mean, if Seattle gets them, it's all bad. If the Rams get them, it's all bad. And if the Cardinals get them, it's all bad. But just for the record, let's see. The Seahawks have 7.2 million in cap space. Arizona and the Rams, where are they at? Let me see.
I wonder if Seattle signed all of their rookies. I should have looked into that. Because I'm curious to see if they've signed everybody. Because I know that we haven't even signed Lance yet.
Right. And that's going to be like a $6 million. Rams have 7 million in cap space, just right there with the Seahawks.
Okay.
Cardinals, where are you? Cardinals at 13.5. So maybe the Cardinals. They already got AJ Green, though. I'm thinking he's going to go to the AFC. But if he ends up in the NFC West and it's not on the Niners, terrible.
That's the worst case scenario. If he goes anywhere but the NFC West, I'm good with it. I'm fine with it. But if he ends up on one of those teams, that's I don't want to trade for a player just to stop him from going to an in-division rival, but you might want to consider this one.
Grant, about to start a civil war on the defense. Team Jimmy Ward versus Team Eric Armstead. Ooh. Maybe I can get Eric Armstead on my side. I'll start giving Eric Armstead a little love. That's exactly how I feel about the 49ers. Why do they do that? Sorry, that was like a cool 2 minutes ago, so I don't know. I hear you.
What we're talking about.
What would be your potential this season is over event at this offseason specifically, please?
Oh, you know what? I think he might have been talking about when I said the 49ers act as if they're in on everything but never trade for anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he was talking about that.
Maybe that's the John Lynch thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of been
your
their
potential
thing.
this season is over event this offseason specifically, please.
Verrett going down?
Yeah, Verrett. I mean, it would have to be a huge injury. Verrett, Bosa again. Bosa would be the one because not only is the season over, but let's listen, the career might be over as a 49er goes if he has another serious injury.
They need Bosa or Verrett because with Verrett, they can blitz. With Bosa, they don't have to. You lose both of them, Damiko is going to be in a tough spot. I feel like I may have missed some people's stuff. If Rad, I did,
quit trolling, Rad.
Let me know if I missed one of your things. It's been going hella fast. We got 900 people in here. I'm really sorry if I did. Please let me know and don't tip again. I'll just answer it.
I'll try to look out. I'm not paying attention to the chat either. I'll try to help.
You keep spending $2 to say go Lions, but I appreciate that. Thanks. All right, let's move on. Okay. Jimmy Ward. So I asked Jimmy Ward a question. He got excited to see me. We're best friends. But then, no, he answered my question. And he answered a very interesting answer. I've been talking to Jimmy Ward like off the record about his role in the team for years. And I feel like they still don't use him the right way. He's a strong safety in a free safety, in a cornerback's body. He's a freaking strong safety. And the closer he gets to the line of scrimmage, the more of a playmaker he becomes. They let him dabble in that a little bit of last year when Tart went down, and I thought he was terrific. He also got himself hurt. Did he have a concussion? I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's why you got to pick your spots, but still something you want him to do. Teron Matthew gets to do it. So I asked him, are there going to be new and more ways you're going to be used this year? And he was like, yeah, I hope so. I like being a robber. I like being so it seems like Jimmy Ward is going to be more at the point of attack, be more featured this year. What do you think?
I don't know, because the way that he answered it, he kind of
like, I hope so. It better be.
It was
not sure. Yeah.
It was a lot of, hey, if I'm used that way, I can be a stud and everybody would realize how great I am. I just don't know if I will be used that way because I'm way too athletic for it. Like I can actually cover people. I can do these other things. If I could just sit in the middle of the field and pick plays off and read the quarterback, I'd be one of the best in the league or looked at that way. But that's not my role because I'm too good at other things is basically the way I took it.
Who was he talking about? It seemed like he was talking about another strong safety in particular. Adams?
Maybe.
Matthew?
It could be. But I also felt like he took it as the media takes a lot of shots at him for not doing enough,
making
or showing
plays,
enough.
right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, man,
he's like, how do I answer this?
Yeah.
He was thinking it through verbally, really.
Yeah. So I think this is good. I mean, look, Damiko, if you hadn't thought of it, I thought of it. I ran it by Jimmy Ward. He's into it. You said you want to play to your player's strengths. You want to be player friendly. Well, listen to your free safety. He's the longest tenured player on the team. He's very smart, and he is good. I wouldn't have him as a starting strong safety, but in passing situations, I'd want him as strong safety. I would want Tart at linebacker and more free safety.
Exactly. Tart or Hufanga, because you're talking about a guy that plays well at the line of scrimmage. That's perfect. Post snap roll coverages, put him near the line of scrimmage and have cover one robber over the top. Yeah, that would be ideal. Jimmy says he wants it, so let's bring it. Right. By the way, Grant, this is 2 weeks in a row that we've had players say that they watch your show. One of them directly, one of them indirectly, but Kittle said he knows what you think of Dwelly and how he is your favorite tight end. So that's 2 players now. If people don't think that these guys are watching, you've got those 2. You had Debo putting together the clips on Instagram with your voice as inspiration, talking bad about him. These guys listen. It's crazy.
All I got to say is they have really good taste. Thank you very much. Chris says, I can see Seattle swapping Wagner, Adams, plus a couple late picks for Jones. Oh, P.S. and Chardall, we trust. Nah. You think so?
The last part, yeah.
Yeah.
The first part, nah.
Adams is like 25. You're going to trade him for Jones?
They just traded 2 first-round picks for Adams. There's no way they're doing that.
And Wagner's like the leader of the team.
Yeah.
It's interesting. They got to get creative, I guess.
Wagner's still a top 3 linebacker.
Yes, and I guess what he's saying is like, well, okay, they don't have cap space, but you could trade an expensive player. That's clever. I don't think they will, but I don't know. It's clever.
Maybe restructure. He's got to restructure.
One more from Jade Riley says, do you think Jimmy Ward asked for a trade if he doesn't get more production on the defense? No. And the other thing I wanted to say earlier, we were talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, and I forgot, but what I was saying is, how many other quarterbacks in his position would have asked for a trade publicly at this point?
Oh, a lot. Yeah. Jimmy wants to be a part of it. Again, this team cohesively likes to play for each other. The reason that was so big to me to see these guys all show up to OTAs last week when they didn't have to, they're continuing to stick around. They love to play together. This atmosphere, regardless of what we think about Shanahan sometimes and his questionable decision-making, he's built a family atmosphere that these guys want to be a part of. Yeah, I would say if Jimmy was on another team, he definitely would have requested a trade by now. Yeah. He deserves it. He could, but I don't think he will at this point. If he was going to, it would have already happened.
The only person who didn't want to be in the 49ers family, Jerick McKinnon. Now, in McKinnon's defense, he had a lot of offers and free agency. He landed on his feet. He's doing well. What team is he on?
He's the Fighting Free Agents, I think.
Fighting Free. Yeah. Oh, maybe he shouldn't have said that thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a mistake. All right. But I don't know. Maybe that's not the issue. Maybe the issue is that he's not a good football player anymore. Okay, Javon Kinlaw. Kinlaw spoke today. I can't really tell you much about how he's playing in camp. That's a bad start. Kinlaw looks great at camp. I saw everything he did. No, hold on. There's no one-on-ones. There's no pads. It's hard to say the moment of truth is coming for him in July. But you could see him. He looks like he's in good shape. And he spoke today, and I love this kid. What do you think of Javon Kinlaw?
I just thought about it, too. I think McKinnon actually did sign with the Chiefs, didn't he?
Oh, did he? Oh,
I think he might have.
The Chiefs have McKinnon?
I don't know if he might have been cut already.
That's the best they can do? Oh.
Yeah, they can do better than that.
Oof.
That's not a good pickup. He looked so slow last year and slow bad, but whatever. I don't know.
They should have a Twitter account called NFL Teams Who Are Down Bad. Oh my God! You just signed Jerick McKinnon. They were down bad.
Is that what happened? Where's East Bay? East Bay, where are you at?
Here, I'll look it up.
Where Jed is on the Chiefs now. Somebody said that.
Oh my God! All right, well, it shows what I know. Watch him be like the Super Bowl MVP next year. God. Anyway, Javon Kinlaw. What do you think of him?
What a weird guy. He's a little awkward, right? He doesn't smile much. You got him to smile with the squirrel question, at least. Yes. That was cool.
Yes.
Nah, I mean, obviously all about his business, but it wasn't necessarily what he said, but it's everybody around him talking about how he's about to break out. Yeah. You heard Damiko Ryans talk about it. You heard Ebukam talk about it. Kinlaw's prime to have a really, really good season. He's going to have the OTAs. He's going to have preseason. He's going to have Bosa there. He's going to have Ebukam. He's going to have Armstead next to him. I think that Kinlaw is going to have a really, really good season. I'm looking forward to it.
It's possible. I know East Bay Chris is laughing somewhere. He's like, "Oh, he's getting good reviews." June. No, I respect it. I think Kinlaw is going to be a good player. Is he going to be worth that trade? I don't know. Is he going to be worth that pick? I don't know. But that's a different issue. That's really more the Niners' issue, not really his issue. I do think he's going to be he is a good player. I've seen him. He moves very well for a dude his size. He's big. He moves very well. He's very fluid and he's athletic as hell. He looks like he played basketball at 320. Honestly. Yeah. He's just not a pass rusher right now. When I say that, I mean like that's skill, right? That's like he doesn't have, the mid-range jumper, the three. That's all skill. That's different. Yeah. He has all this natural ability. I don't know if he'll ever develop the finesse. That's finesse and skill the way that Buckner had. But they knew what he was when they drafted him. And if they can get him one-on-one matchups on a center or a guard any one-on-one matchup, he seems like he's the kind of guy who could do really good things as opposed to Solomon Thomas, who couldn't even be the center. You get him a one-on-one and he's stuck. He's Velcro. I think Kinlaw could overpower some people, but and he could end up with 10 sacks the way Eric Armstead. To me, he's very similar to Eric Armstead. Probably a better athlete than Eric Armstead.
He is. I also think with Bosa there, if you line Kinlaw up in front of a gap instead of a player, that could be really helpful for him. Just let him go straight forward, blow up a gap, make the guard make a decision. Probably going to help out on Bosa because who wouldn't? And just let him disrupt things up the middle. A lot of the way that DJ Jones has been able to. I feel like that might help him out as well. So third downs, put him on a gap instead of a player. That could be helpful for sure.
What I would do with him on third down, I would not play him at 3 technique. I don't know who you'd play. I would put Kevin Gibbons. I would put Kevin Gibbons at 3 technique. Then you have Bosa on one side, Ebukam, D Ford, Arden Key, whoever. But Kinlaw as a 1 technique. Kinlaw as a guy whose job is to make sure the quarterback doesn't scramble through the pocket and basically be the one controlled rusher. He'd be a handful right in the face of the quarterback, pushing the pocket, be a real handful. I mean, he'd be getting double teamed by right guards and centers, left guards and centers, and creating one-on-ones for other people. That might be the way I use him. He may not get a ton of sacks that way, but he would be disruptive and create sacks.
Well, he did show to be patient as the season went along. How many times did we see him bail on a pass rush and either go downfield to stop somebody or put his hands up and disrupt the pass? He did gain that patience as the season went along. That's
another reason to play him at 1 technique. The play's right in front of him. He has good instincts. I think if you drafted him to be a 3 technique, you may be disappointed, but Armstead isn't a 3 technique either. They figured that out. He's not. Now he can be an interior rusher, but he's basically a D end. Maybe Javon Kinlaw can play 3 technique on base downs as a run defender, but when it's time to get after the passer, him and Armstead, I'd rather have Armstead as a 3 technique, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd rather have him over one side next to Bosa and then Kinlaw just being a load in the middle. I think that's a good spot for him. Yeah. So, that's what I thought they tried to do with Thomas. It's just like Thomas, it doesn't nothing helps.
That was not they messed that whole thing up with Thomas because Thomas, they played him out of position really his whole career until the very, very end, but it was too late, So
I don't think he has a position in the NFL. In my opinion.
He's a tweener.
I don't think he has a position. I don't know. He's a tweener, which means he's nothing. RW Nutjob 45 says, how bad will Jimmy have to be to not start this season? I feel like barring injury, there's no way he doesn't start. Buy your dad's bottle now.
I don't.
How bad does Jimmy have to be?
I don't think it has to do with Jimmy being bad. I think the question is how good does Lance have to be? Lance has to be just as good as Jimmy, or almost as good as Jimmy. If that Lance scenario rises up,
Lance has to make it like it's not even a decision where everyone on the team's like, "Look, Jimmy, we really like you, but holy macaroni!" I mean, I've seen you've seen it, Jimmy. I mean, don't lie. You know he's better than you, right? It has to be like that, right? Don't lie.
Yeah, the thing is that Jimmy, there are things that Jimmy just cannot do. It doesn't matter how good Jimmy is. There are deficiencies that he has that he'll never have that Lance naturally does have. Lance is mobile. He's got a stronger arm. He might be a quicker decision maker already. So you add all of those things in. Jimmy could be at his best, but his best is only a 7 on a scale of 0 to Lance. So it may not matter. He doesn't have to be bad necessarily to lose the job. If Lance is just good, it's over.
Sure. Thank you, right wing nut job. That's a hell of a name. All right. The number 3 wide receiver race is getting very interesting. They basically don't have one. It was Kendrick Bourne. He left. They didn't replace him. I was thinking Richie James Jr. injured. Then I was thinking maybe Travis Benjamin injured. Today, Mohamed Sanu played the best he's ever played in his entire life. It was the best day he's ever had. He made 1,800 catches. No, man, this guy was great. He ran away from Jimmy Ward. Like, give him credit. The guy looked fast. So I don't know. How do you handicap this? What do you see this going? It's three months away from the first game.
He's only 31. I had to look it up because I figured he was 33, 30. He's only 31 years old. So he knows the offense. He's a big body guy, which Shanahan seems to like to have in that slot position. I mean, if Hurd's not going to be healthy or even compete for this position, Sanu's got to be the guy, right? I mean, James just doesn't fit the mold from a size aspect. Benjamin doesn't fit the role from a size aspect.
Benjamin and James are similar. They're the kind of guys that you might line up in the slot just to get him a free release, but you're basically trying to get him outside and deep.
Right. Yeah. So when I look at it, I mean, Jennings seems to be a good fit, size-wise, skill-wise. Sanu does, but Sanu's a veteran, and he's a savvy veteran at that. So I would say Sanu right now is, if I'm handicapping it, I mean, he's probably got a 60% chance to win it. And then you've got Jennings sitting at 30, and then maybe Hurd can get healthy and get the other 10%. We'll see.
There you go. Because I think that number 3 receiver is going to be a big slot receiver.
It will.
They don't have little slot receivers. And the Richie James Jr., Travis Benjamin dude is like the number 4 receiver that you bring in three receiver sets on first and second down when you're trying to go play action down the field. But when it's time to get a first down, when you're in the red zone, it's not going to be Richie James or Travis Benjamin. It's going to be Sanu most likely. And what's interesting about him is I always felt like, well, first of all, Shanahan went to a Super Bowl with Sanu as his number 3 receiver.
Yes.
He was really good in Atlanta. And then when he came here, he couldn't bring Sanu with him. So he signed Kendrick Bourne. And when I looked at Kendrick Bourne, I always felt like he was supposed to be the Sanu replacement.
Yeah.
He's the closest thing I can get to Sanu, and he played very similarly.
Yeah, he definitely did. I don't think Benjamin's going to make this team unless there are injuries. I don't. He's we save $1 million just by cutting him. You can cut him outright and basically save $1 million. I don't think Benjamin, and now that he's hurt, unless something else happens injury wise, I don't see Benjamin making the team personally. So
yeah, me neither. So that's the way I'm going with it too. Hey, nice hat. Did you see my hat today? I was really proud of it. I don't have it over here. I wanted to wear it. Did you see it?
I did see it. One of the comments, the very first comment on the video, I mean, you like to go read the comments now.
Yeah.
But it just shows up naturally right below the video. But it said, "You looked like Shanahan's rebel younger brother," or something. I don't know. It made me laugh, though. It made me laugh out loud. It was good. It was definitely good.
I got that hat from Oakland just yesterday, which is like the official little store of Oakland. Not really.
Okay.
But they make little Oakland Pride stuff. And
it's
the same. I think it's an Oakland Oaks thing, which was an old minor league team before the A's
minor
came
league
here.
Baseball team. Yeah.
Yes. But it's my high school's colors. The black and gold, and it could be O'Dowd. So I'm rocking it like it's my O'Dowd hat.
I actually thought it was like a high school hat. I really did, like from your high school team for sure.
When I went to O'Dowd, we had the Ohio State O, which was so lame. Like, why? Come on, it's just a O. It's a block O. It's so bad. So it's too bad we didn't have the
Orioles O is way cooler.
Oh, that's a really nice one.
Yeah,
that's a really nice one. Okay, let's move on. We have 3 more topics.
Okay,
NFL head coaching rankings.
Let me pull it up. It up. Hold on. Not prepared. Sorry.
That's okay. All right, let me get it too.
Okay.
Here it is. Okay. 1, Bill Belichick. 2, Andy Reid. 3, Sean McVay. 4, Sean Payton. 5, John Harbaugh. 5, Mike Tomlin. 7, Sean McDermott. 8, Kevin Stefanski. 9, Kyle Shanahan. 9, Kyle Shanahan. 10, Frank Reich. 11, Bruce Arians, who has a ring. 14, Pete Carroll, who has a ring. Robert Saleh, 18, never coached a game. Vic Fangio, 19. How do you do this? Who made this? Mike Tyler. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I don't.
Ron Rivera, 23. He's perpetually underrated.
Robert Saleh, 18, and hasn't even coached a game yet. I mean,
what?
Come on.
I mean, Dan Campbell, Urban Meyer, David Culley, all at the bottom, but Robert Saleh is 18. Okay.
Vrabel, by the way, hell of a coach. Arthur Smith above Vrabel. What has Arthur Smith done?
Yeah, Vrabel's a hell of a coach. What the hell is Arthur Smith done?
Saying. Pete Carroll at 14. I don't know. I guess the
worst
question
ranking
is,
I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is a 49er show. Is Shanahan too low, too high, or just right in your opinion?
I mean,
let's go through them.
How do you put him ahead of Bruce Arians? How? Bruce Arians been coaching for like 30 years. He just won a Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan is 41 or whatever, and he's got so much talent and promise, but he's had one winning season as a head coach. I mean, I guess it's just like a fundamental either you're ranking based on what a guy has accomplished or what you think he can accomplish.
Right.
And to me, I like to rank based on what people have accomplished. Otherwise, you end up saying that Colin Kaepernick is going to be the greatest quarterback of all time after 8 starts. You don't want to do that.
No.
You don't want it. So no, it's not fair. 9? He's over guys with multiple rings, man. I don't know.
Here's the way that I see it. Okay, so Sean McDermott and Kevin Stefanski, they're not better than Shanahan. They need to be out of there. They need to be replaced with Pete Carroll and Bruce Arians need to move up into their spot.
Yes.
Sean McVay needs to slide back.
Ageism.
I would say Sean McVay and Shanahan are 9-10, regardless of how you have it, and then the rest of those guys slide up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess if I were ranking them, I would still be partial to dudes with rings. Like, maybe they're not as good as they used to be, and you think other people are better than them, but they beat the game. You didn't.
Yeah.
Sean McVay, you think you're good? All right, you didn't beat the game yet, man.
Yep.
Pete Carroll did.
Yep.
Bruce Arians did. And it's like, well, Bruce Arians had Tom Brady. Well, he was smart enough to get Tom Brady. Kyle Shanahan wasn't quite smart enough to do that last year. He's come a long way.
Not only was he smart enough to get him, but he was smart enough to just let him do his thing. No ego. No ego.
And he gets downgraded for that? Like, you should upgrade him for that. That's smart.
How much did he learn from that Ben Roethlisberger situation, by the way? Remember when he was over there in Pittsburgh? There was all that back and forth with him and Roethlisberger through the media. He learned a lot from that situation. Talk about growing. That's credit to Arians for that. He grew a lot from that situation.
Also, Bill Belichick, number 1, based on his career with Tom Brady. Here's what I want to say. The number 1 head coach in the league, I'm serious. The number 1 head coach in the league, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady. He had Belichick at the number 1 spot right now, and he should have Arians at number 2. It's Brady, man. Brady takes over teams in ways I've never seen. When he steps in front of a team and talks football, he has more gravitas than anyone in the world. Anyone in the world more than Bill Belichick. So it's Brady.
Yep. Yeah.
He's older than Shanahan. It's freaking Brady. I'm sorry. Thank you.
He is older than Shanahan,
he's
isn't
he? 2 years older than Shanahan. Yes. He's
so
definitely old enough.
crazy.
He's 10 years older than Sean McVay. The dude is the number 1 head coach in the league. He doesn't get the credit.
Shanahan still has a chance to be a quarterback in this league, Grant. I don't care what you say about him. If Brady can still be playing, Shanahan has a hope now.
Kyle's just going to need to go to Tom House. B-Money. What's up, B-Money? I know B-Money. Said, should we expect to see more of Debo and Ayuk in the slot without a clear number 3 wideout? It's looking like Sanu and Jennings are I don't know about that. I think Kyle has a specific mold he wants in mind at that slot receiver. It's Bourne. It's Sanu. It's Jennings. It's Hurd. I don't think it's Ayuk and Debo. I don't know. Hard to say.
I wouldn't say so, but if they're in a pinch and you want to play James is better suited for the outside from what we've seen. So move James outside, maybe move Debo to the inside so that you can use some of the gadget plays. He's a little bit closer to the quarterback. Yeah, I could see it. I could possibly see it. I don't think it's ideal, but if you're in a situation where James needs to play, he's probably going to be outside. He's better suited for it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, B-Money. You're super generous. I appreciate it. I hope you liked our answer. Jordan said winning is more important than mobility or arm strength. Niners have to give extensive time to Trey in the preseason to know he will win week 1. He can't lose. Yeah, he can't lose. He can't. You can't take the job from Jimmy and have the kid lose week 1 because everyone's like, well, Jimmy doesn't lose. Jimmy's a winner. Yeah, he's got it. He got it. I'm with you, Jordan. So play him.
Jordan,
play him. Yep.
I'm going to answer your question by asking you a question. This is internal thoughts. Do you think the 49ers can win by running the ball 60% of the time in the first 3 games of the season? Do you think that's the recipe? Because if that's the recipe, then Trey Lance can still be your guy.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, moving on. This is the last topic. Okay, it's a good way to end it on a downer. So we talk about all the great things that happened at camp. Trey Lance looking good, improving. Jimmy Garoppolo still decent, still healthy. But there's a bunch of injuries going on right now, and it's always like you get to practice, and there's all these players, and you're really excited, and you're trying to take notes and see who's doing well, and then the PR director taps you on the shoulder, is like, "Hey, Raheem Mostert, knee out for a little while. It's mild, sure it is. Ayuk groin. It's just like player after player. I'm like, so this is the story. So you're telling me this is the story today, man? Brandon Ayuk, Richie James, Jeff Wilson Jr., all the different degrees. Travis Benjamin, Raheem Mostert. Are you freaking kidding me? It's June 2nd.
It's like going to Disneyland, Grant, and seeing that Splash Mountain's down for the day, and so is Peter Pan. It's just a no-win situation. Like, man, I paid all this money. Like, it's a vacation with my family. We got the shirts. We got the Mickey Mouse shirts with 2021 vacation, and you're telling me Splash Mountain's not working? Yeah. That's what.
I want my money back. Yeah, it's exactly. Not good. And
so I guess, why didn't you tell me this before I entered the park?
So what we're seeing is a couple of things. One, this team is injury prone. You could change the practice schedule, habits, whatever. Change whatever you want. Players who they are. These are the guys you brought in. It's going to take some time. Another thing, man. I was just on Twitch an hour ago and chilling. Someone brought up something interesting. Were you watching? Did you see this?
I was not. No.
Okay. How dare you? Anyway.
I mean, I was watching intently, but I'm sure there's somebody that wasn't. So why don't you explain it?
One guy says, what do you know about Dustin Perry? Do you know who Dustin Perry is? You don't know who Dustin Perry is?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Hold on. Dustin Perry is, hold on, let me tell you. He is the head strength and conditioning coach for the 49ers. You didn't know that. No. Been here 3 years, okay? I didn't know it either. They were like, what do you think of Dustin Perry? I'm like, who? Like, he's the head strength and conditioning coach for the Niners. Been it for 3 years. Oh, well, I'll be damned. The 2 previous years, he was the assistant to Ray Wright, who built that ridiculous ramp hill and got fired. So I'm looking at Dustin Perry. He got, hey, you were the dude's assistant, and then you got promoted, and now you got a great job. Who the hell are you? So the Niners brought him in. He was at the University of Minnesota for 4 seasons as the assistant strength and conditioning coach. So they have the assistant strength and conditioning coach from the University of Minnesota. That's the guy. Maybe, Dustin, I have no idea who you are, but maybe they should bring in someone with more accomplishments. I mean, what the hell, man?
I'm telling you, there's a guy at Oregon, coolest strength and conditioning coach around. First of all, he's yoked. That's your word of the day, yoked. First of all, he's yoked. Second of all, he's got the cool, like, little handlebar mustache. Oh man, he's always on the field, breaking things down. Let's go get that guy. But no, man, I feel like they're cutting corners in the area that you cannot cut a corner in. Why? And then didn't we hear that these guys were hockey guys also? They use a lot of hockey methods versus football. I don't know, but
yes, like the lead guy, like the lead trainer is from the NHL. The lead strength and conditioning coach is from the University of Minnesota. And the University of Minnesota didn't even trust him enough to make him the lead guy. They were like, you're an apprentice. You just follow Joe, whoever the guy is. You just learn from him. And then it's like, no, dude, that's the guy. Do you want to hire our? No. We want the assistant to the traveling secretary to be our. Dude, I don't know, man. I just feel like the Niners, if they made this a point of, if they took it seriously and brought in someone and paid the money, and I don't know, man, you get what you pay for, I guess.
They fired a whole team. You would think that they would have done their due diligence to make sure that we're bringing in the best of the best. And what's funny is, if you watch Brick by Brick, the way that they sold it, that training staff to everybody was, these guys are A1. The meals that they're eating, we're all on a scheduled meal plan. This is what we do after workout because this is what that whole show low key was selling us on this training staff. It's very interesting now that I'm going back and thinking about it. I didn't really put too much to it then, but now that Brick by Brick was really selling that training staff to us like they were the best thing. And then I don't know, the last 2 years happened, and
I believe they fired Mark Uyama. Mark Uyama was the strength and conditioning coach for Harbaugh. He won the head strength and conditioning coach of the year award for whoever gives it out once when he was with the Niners. They fired him. And then he went to the Minnesota and did a good job there. And I think he just got let go recently. Maybe he's about done. But I don't know. Okay, fine. Fire Mark Uyama. Bring in someone better.
Right.
Who did you replace him with, man? The guy who built the stupid ramp. I told this story on Twitch, but I'll tell it again. If you were hurt, Ray Wright was a tough. Usually you're hurt. You like go, you do some sprints on the side. You run around a little bit. Yeah. Not with Ray Wright. Not with Ray Wright. You get on that hill and you crab walk up that hill backwards, freaking backwards, head down. These are 300-pound men. That looks really hard. So Buckner's doing it. Blair's doing it. Struggling, but they're good soldiers. They'll do what they're told. Aaron Lynch is on it. Aaron Lynch didn't exactly do well with authority. And he's so overweight, man. He comes in about 280. I was going to say,
or his physique.
Ooh, so he's doing it, and he does about 30 seconds. He says, man, screw this, except he didn't say screw this. He said something else. And he said it right to Ray Wright in his face. And Ray Wright just stood there like, I have no power here. I just got cursed out by a 24-year-old man, and that's the profession I'm in. So that's when I was thinking, and I even wrote, like, that's not good, Aaron. No, you were right, Aaron. Don't just do stuff because people tell you to do stuff. Good job.
Like that's the stuff I did in 6th grade football. What did they do after that? The Oklahoma drill? Like, what are you doing? These are
what pros. Are you doing?
Why are they crab walking and bear walking everywhere? That's terrible.
I'm not wearing my quality control jacket, but as my duty as quality control coach, Dustin Perry, we're gonna have to look into your background because I don't know. It might be your fault, man. What is the whole Jeff Wilson Jr. thing should not reflect well on freaking Dustin Perry. That is your job. You're in charge of strength and conditioning, and this dude just mangled his meniscus standing up. Dustin, we got to talk. We need a meeting. We need a meeting with Dustin. All right, so we're going to do quality control. You show up, 3 of us. You're now invited to the show. Next Wednesday at 7, 49ers After Dark. Dustin, I want to see you in here, all right? I'm not going to send you an invite, but you watch. Jimmy Ward will tell you I want you here. Because if you don't show up, I'm going to have to wonder if you're ducking us. And if you're ducking us, there's going to be a reason, all right?
Quality control is not a jacket, Grant. It's a lifestyle. You wear it very well.
It's a lifestyle. That's right. It's definitely not a career because I don't get paid for that.
It's not a jacket. It's a lifestyle. I love it.
Oh, man. That's our show. That was a good show. I always love this show, man. You're so good. I'm a little mad at you that you set up your Discord before me on Twitch, but that's just spurring me to get my stuff together. I hear you're doing a great job on Twitch, by the way.
Thank you. Well, I mean, it's early. Dude, I'm not promoting it.
Or are
you? Nope. You good? What? Is that me? You? Grant? I think it's Grant. Grant's gone. His computer shut off. It's the way it works. Well, while I'm still here, let me say this. I'm going to have on my show tomorrow, Sean McAvoy, QB coach for Trey Lance. He was on before the draft, one of the most popular shows, and he will be on again tomorrow on my show with Jackhammer. So come over and watch that.
I'm still here. I'm back.
Grant's still here. Good.
Don't cancel me on my own show. I don't know what happened. It was the internet or something.
I thought it was your computer. Oh, 3 of you.
Anyway,
I like it.
Just when I was trying to have the ending was even worse than the beginning. The intro was nice though. The next time we do it, I'm going to have the intro actually the right time. So I'm looking forward to that.
Let's close out with the intro. For the people that didn't see it, let's close out with the intro.
Yeah, we're closing out with the intro. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I'm done for the night. I'll be back tomorrow with my Pops, Cohn Zone. Here's the intro. See you later, everyone.